Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome into your #1 source for Native American television news, Native News Today. We are in the newsroom set today because I am joined with our acting editor here at the Muscogee Nation News and Mvskoke Media, Jessica McBride. Jessica, thanks for being with me today here on the program. We're not in studio, but we are in our newsroom studio, so a lot of things for you and I to talk about.
Absolutely, and you brought up that I'm actually acting editor right now. Our former editor, Sterling Cosper, has been promoted to manager, so we are actively looking for an editor, someone with a journalism background, preferably Muscogee Creek, that can fill that position.
Right, and we want the best and the brightest out there that are, like we said, we'd love for a Creek citizen that has these credentials to come and just make us keep going up on the Muscogee Nation News, and with our paper that's an award winner. Several of our columns, our writings out of the paper have won awards, even our photos, our layout. So we do want to maintain that standard of excellence and keep it going. So if you're out there and this sounds like something that you would love to do, come and be a part of our team. We'd love to have you in that editor position. So, but you're holding down the fort just fine.
I'm holding down the fort for right now, but if you're interested, you can go to the Creek Nation website, mcn-nsn.gov, and go to their HR portion and check that out, or you can go to MuskogeeMedia.com.
There we are.
And we've got all the information there.
Right, and you can see our story here on it, not our story, but basically our announcement is everything that you need. If you go down, you even see the forms and things like that. There's a link to apply, and it is Sterling Cosper's information if you need to have any questions about it. So all of it's there for you, and like I said, if you are interested in that, we'd love to have you here as part of the team. We're a lot of fun. The Tuesday production meetings where we get down to the brass tacks of what we're doing that week for coverage is always fun. So come and be a part of that. Jessica, we've got so much that we're following right now here at Muscogee Creek Nation. One of the big things that we have seen out there on social media, one of the things that we are tasked with here is keeping a pulse on the citizenry. What are they talking about? What are the issues that are important to them going on at Muscogee Creek Nation that we can cover and get the information out there that's factual, it's timely, it's when they need it. So one of the things that we've been following is a stomp dance issue, specifically social dances, also ceremonial dances. What is their place as far as having them on tribal property? And that's come up, and we saw things on social media that would suggest that the tribe had a say in whether they are allowed on our properties of the complex or not. So we started following it, and what we wanted to do was reach out to see what exactly was the policy on this, because we didn't know, and we wanted to ask the Chief's office, the Attorney General. And Friday, at the end of the day, I received an email from Jibon Gouge, our Public Relations Director here at Creek Nation, from Kevin Dellinger, our Attorney General, a statement on the issue. So what my request to them was, what is our policy at the nation regarding this issue? And this is directly from the statement. At the moment, there is not a consensus within the nation on whether to allow stomp dances on tribal properties. Until there is a consensus, a policy decision has been made to halt all stomp dances on tribal properties. After further dialogue and review, a final policy will be established. Okay, and that's the statement from Kevin Dellinger. So it appears, Jessica, that actually right now, yes, stomp dances are forbidden on tribal properties.
And it sounds like, too, it's indoor stomp dances, but we'll keep track of this issue and follow it and let you know of any updates.
Yeah, and one of the things about our coverage is we want it to be well-rounded. So for us, this issue, it contains not only this from the tribal side, the administrative side, but there's also very much a social issue of the citizenry. Some that feel that a certain way about these, a certain way about these, and so we want to get all parties involved so that the citizens can know just where we're at on this issue. But I wanted to thank the Attorney General there, G-Bon, and Chief Floyd. Actually heard from all three of them there to get that statement to us to clear it up. So basically, until there is a consensus on this issue, for now, all tribal stomp dances on property is not allowed. So they're coming to a consensus, and I'm sure that we'll hear something in the very near future about that.
And if you've got more information on this topic, feel free to reach out to us. You can get all of our information at MuskogeeMedia.com.
Yes, and we're talking to leaders of ceremonial grounds, things like that, and people. We're talking to the right people, and we want to hear from you. If you have, we may even do a piece to where we really get the pulse of the citizens. So we want to hear from you if you have, issue or if you have an opinion regarding this issue. So moving right along, Jessica, unfortunately, we continue to see the issue in North Dakota, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, with the water protectors there. This past weekend, things really got ratcheted up, and we saw we've heard reports of, seen videos, what appears to be a really bad look for law enforcement there, and the excessive use of force and what's happening. I want to pull up real quick and talk about this article. I thought, and in the time of we don't know what's real news, we don't know what's going on. Washington Post, something we can trust. I think everybody out there knows that they've been reporting on this for a little bit. Their headline today says, "Police defend use of water cannons on Dakota Access protesters in freezing weather." So if you go down, you can find this on Washington Post, but it contains some videos there, and you can see some things that have been said, and I wanted to go down and read to you and point out, because the headline of the story is the law enforcement and their response, and they say the Sheriff's Department says at 8:30 p.m., this was last Sunday, an estimated 400 people had arrived to try to breach the bridge and had set dozens of fires in the area. The department called the situation an ongoing riot, saying protesters were very aggressive and were trying to flank and attack the law enforcement line. So what we've heard from the people there, because we're not getting coverage like we should from national media outlets, what we've heard is from people there. And for this whole time, it's a peaceful protest, everything like that. So from what we're hearing here from the authorities, they're saying it's not peaceful. So we go down, one of the protest organizers, Dallas Goldtooth, he's actually a member of the 1491s too, so a lot of people know him nationally. He says protesters started the fires in the area to help warm people that had been shot with water cannons, okay, and we're talking about freezing temperatures, 22 degrees temperatures, getting hosed with water. I mean, some of these people were hypothermia sufferers, and Goldtooth also said we have 17 protesters were injured severely enough to be taken to the hospitals, he says. So this has gotten really amped up here in this last week. It'll be interesting to see how much attention is given now. I hate to say that it takes something like this to get, but we usually don't see this type of thing, unfortunately, get the attention it deserves until it makes a turn for the worse.
Right, and we still haven't heard anything from the government side on an update on what the plan of action is on this. So we'll keep following this as well to see and bring you any updates that come from the Army Corps of Engineers and of course the U.S. government.
Right, and we plead with the folks out there, be careful with what you share, with what you see on your feed and Facebook. Anybody can put anything out there. Really do your research for reputable news sources. And, another thing is, I don't want to run down what you're finding on your feed, because some of it is from people that are there, that are at the camp. They're taking out their cell phones. So there's nothing biased in that. You can watch that footage from people that are there and see what's happening and decide for yourself on what's going on. But what we've seen is, of course, a turn to some violent force being, that's happening, and we're seeing a lot of people, as we said, even a press release from the health council that's at the camp, that there were over 300 with some minor injuries. So a lot of bad stuff going on there, and keep yourself advised and keep yourself on the issue. So we'll also keep that on MuskogeeMedia.com, everything that we can find there for you, and keep that issue on the minds of our people, because there's a lot of support that's needed up there for some wisdom and for things to turn out okay. So as we move along, council coverage this last week. This last week's council meeting, a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of big stuff where you go, okay.
A lot of big stuff, and there was actually a lot of discussion with the council. We've had some issues in the past of hearing exactly what they're saying, but we were able to listen to a lot of what councilors were saying about the legislation, why they were voting for it, and why they were voting against it. And we'll go over a couple of these real quick. The first one was the Principal Chief James Floyd submitted Shoneen Alexander Ross to serve as the Secretary of Health. That motion failed with a vote of 7-8. So Shoneen Alexander Ross will not become the Secretary of Health. We did get an email earlier today that says the acting Secretary of Health is Rhonda Beaver.
Yes, I thought that was a big news item coming out of that, because of course we've been covering health. Ms. Ross actually came on the program to speak for health a few times. So yeah, that one was one that stuck out to me.
There's also the Tarot repeal law went up before council, and it was postponed indefinitely.
Okay.
So that law will not be voted on. It's postponed indefinitely. Representative Barnett said during the meeting that Principal Chief James Floyd had an amendment in the works to amend the program, so we'll keep our eyes on that and bring you coverage on that as well.
And I'm following along with you here on MCNC, and as you can see, if you go to download your agendas, you can get the agenda and follow along with us as well. It's got it all on there, and it has been updated to include the actions that have been taken on this legislation.
Right, and if you'd also like to see the full legislation, you can go to the planning session agenda and download that.
Great.
And that will actually have the full legislation, so you can see all the details of what's going on. But moving along, there was a piece of legislation to give $396,513 to the Muscogee language program. On the floor, it was amended to $390,765, but the motion itself failed with a vote of 6-9. Representatives Randolph and Hicks stated during that session that they didn't have enough information to vote a yes on it. What the legislation would have done was it would have given money to hire additional teachers for the Muscogee language, and Hicks and Randolph both said that they didn't think that there was a concrete plan in place, and they would like to see something like that before they voted yes.
And this council coverage will also be included in your next issue of Muscogee Nation News.
Right, you can check it out on MuscogeeMedia.com here in the next couple of days, or you can see it in the December 15th edition.
All right. And moving right along, and that kind of wraps up our council coverage. So
well, there was one more
yeah.
with the Wetumpka Clinic.
Right, that's what I was
So
going to get to.
you'll see in our health coverage is the Wetumpka Clinic with the health reorganization and so on. They cut the hours for the Wetumpka Clinic down to 2 days a week. So they had a piece of legislation, and it passed $662,245 for the next fiscal year to keep the Wetumpka Clinic open for 5 days a week.
All right, and I think you're looking now and seeing, you really do see with each council legislation that comes up, you know, the fact that we are having to be financially prudent with certain things, and certain people look at different as legislations that are passed and ask why. You can really see if you watch the pattern and where we're at financially. So it's good to keep up with that and know what your nation is doing. Keep up with these agendas. So. Yep, and let's move right along. Our last tidbit of information we wanted to cover was the FLSA that we've been covering on the Muscogee Media website. A lot of people out there asking about the new policy coming in on overtime rules with as it pertains to Creek Nation employees. We actually went to the HR presentation the other day and found out some more information on that.
So this is a federal regulation, and it has to do with overtime and says that employees that make within a certain range are required to get overtime pay. So we went to the HR meeting that was for managers for the Muscogee Creek Nation, and what they said is they will be utilizing comp time. So they won't actually be paying employees time and a half, but they'll be utilizing a system where they can get time and however many hours of overtime they work times time and a half. That's how many hours they get to take off during the week.
All right, and that sort of clears it up a little bit. We're waiting to hear a little bit more from the U.S. Department of Labor, and we want to get some of that information to you as well. So we'll have that as soon as we can get it back from them. But Jessica, thanks so much for this rundown. We've got a lot of information out there that you can go to and check out on our website, MuskogeeMedia.com. Always stay with us on our social media sites. We'll have some fun stuff coming up with the holidays and everything like that. We really hope that everybody out there has had a great week and Thanksgiving and all that stuff. Let's take a break real quick and let everybody kind of recharge their batteries, and we'll be right back with the rest of the program for this week.
It's more than just an associate degree. It's a life-changing experience.
You'll see a lot of cultural features here on the campus. You'll see a symbol of the mound, which goes back to the history of Muskogee people as being in that Mississippian time period, that mound building society. That really welcomes our students whenever they first get here.
The college in itself is beyond the building, is the people.
They're passionate, very passionate about what they teach, and it shows whenever they're teaching.
The instructors and the administration, they really believe in their students here.
After a couple classes, I began to notice that it kind of felt as if I were returning back to something that had been lost for like a long time. As I learned more about the history of my people, to discover that there were very many great people that did a lot of good things for their people, for their nations, and that those people were American Indian and Native American, it kind of brings out a sense of pride that was not really there before.
There is a future for our people.
Looking for your next 18-hole adventure? Then take a look at Fountainhead Creek Golf Club. Nestled in the beautiful confines of Lake Eufaula State Park, large sloping greens and well-placed bunkers characterize the Muscogee Creek Nation's Floyd Farley designed course and offers a fine test of skill for any golfer. Stay up on all the latest gear and equipment with a visit to our pro shop. Have lunch at the Turn at the Clubhouse Grill. We're waiting to accommodate you at Fountainhead Creek. Give us a call at 918-689-3209 or visit fountainheadgolf.com to book your next round. Fountainhead Creek Golf Club, close to home, far from ordinary.
We believe if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. We believe that transitioning convicted citizens back into our communities enhances public safety. We believe that every citizen, even ex-prisoners, are important and are capable of change. We believe in reclaiming our citizens and investing them back into a culture that embraces healing and restoration.
We believe
In reintegration.
And welcome back to the program. In the newsroom again, Jessica McBride, along with myself, Jason Salzman. And Jessica, as we get into our feature this week, big news out of the College of the Muscogee Nation.
Right, they announced that they have received their initial accreditation.
Yes, a very big step in this college. You know, myself, I don't want to say how old I am, but I was around before the college was there. It was just an idea. You know, some of the people that put it together and had a hand in really pushing it forward, and some of those, the past chiefs, they're even talked about and mentioned in our coverage, but all the way from Ellis to now with Floyd, you know, all the chiefs have been supportive in the council of each step, and you know, they've built the campus, and then they built the housing units and the student center. It's all really came together, but all this time there's been that march towards accreditation for the college. That was the main thing that they all had worked on. Well, I went and talked with President Bible, Dr. King, on this big step of initial accreditation at College of the Muscogee Nation. Well, we're pleased to be joined with President Robert Bible here of the College of the Muscogee Nation. And President Bible, I know that you're very excited about yesterday's news, but tell everybody about the big news for College of Muscogee Nation.
Yesterday, we received our letter from the Higher Learning Commission saying that we were approved for our initial accreditation. That's big. It's a historical moment for our college and for our Muskogee people and nation. It's been a long process. It started back in 2004, and we've gone through, with the support of Chief Ellis, former Chief Ellis, Chief Tiger, and now Chief Floyd, giving us our support, and plus the National Council. And then with the support of everyone together and then the staff, I've got a outstanding staff of faculty and support and administrators that it takes everybody. I'm just fortunate to be the president of the college. This is my 8th year, and so we've been through a lot of deals. It took a vision of Dr. King and a few other stakeholders. There's so many people that were involved in this process, and our relationship with OSU IT through Dr. Klobnis and now Dr. Path. You talk about the many council members who have voted for this and the support. And so we've gone from a few students of about 25 and 2 instructors to now we have 10 full-time instructors. We average about 200 students a semester, about 55 classes per semester. So it's a historical deal to know that the college is going to be here forever.
You yourself have been in education systems for many years, but some people aren't. They don't know the processes and things that have to go on, like accreditation. Can you explain really quickly why accreditation is so important to this facility?
Accreditation, basically, we're saying that we're offering a quality education. We have qualified instructors that are teaching the classes. So many things are dependent on having your accreditation, like Title IV financial aid for our students. If we were not a candidate for now full accreditation, students wouldn't be able to attend here and receive any financial aid. Their credits would not be able to transfer to, since we only offer associates, they would not be able to transfer to other state institutions, and so it's a big step for our students and for us to be able to continue on and having classes, and so it is a long process, okay, and I know that those who didn't understand the accreditation process, it's not that we just decide to open the doors. You have to develop all the policies and procedures, but right now we're just like any other mainstream institution as far as the accrediting deal, and so when our students leave here, okay, their knowledge will be able to transfer to other institutions and be able to pick up, and we hope to graduate with other higher degrees.
You look at the wording and the letters and everything like that, the word initial comes up. Is there more processes to go through?
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't end here. Yeah. I mean, so we'll be on a 10-year cycle now, so we'll have another visit going through the same stuff again in 4 years. They'll come in and do the same thing they have every time. They'll look at our policy procedures, they'll look at our assessment. Assessment's huge in higher ed. They'll look at our faculty qualifications, they'll look at the support, the financial support that we have, or stability, okay, and so in our growth, and so we'll continue on from just like any other institution. So 4 years we'll have a visit, and then we'll have another one. They said in the 10 year, then you kind of start just a continuing process.
Dr. King, we had heard President Bible talk about the long process of accreditation, the many years that you take, and you know, a lot of people out there go, what's taking so long, what took so long, everything like that, but it's like he said, not everybody understands the accreditation process. You're looking at institutional effectiveness. That goes right along with accreditation. Could you talk about some of the things, some of the hurdles we had to jump?
Sure. I'd be glad to, Jason. And as you know, we opened our doors in the fall semester of 2004, and in 2008 we started this process of accreditation with a eligibility interview, and then we've completed some documents since then, had site reviews along the way, and we've also participated in hearings with the Institutional Actions Council, and they were all successful. So we've been very, very proud that we were able to make those achievements and to move along toward accreditation. And as you know, you've seen us grow, in these many years, and we're really excited about what we've been able to do here with the college and with the help of our tribal leaders and with the help of our tribal communities and media services as well. So it's been quite an experience, and we're looking forward to continuing to develop and for the tribal college to grow.
We talked with President Bible also about the the things that they're looking for, qualifications, facilities, everything like that. We got the facilities part down. It's a beautiful place. We've added living quarters for the students. We've added a student center. The classrooms are top notch. All the technology that you need. What were some of those things that they do look at though that maybe people don't know about?
First of all, in pulling all of this together, we had to have a strategic plan. That's one thing that they look at. They want to know, do you have goals and objectives set forth for the college and for your students and for your academic programs? And we spent many hours developing the strategic plan. And so also in developing grants, the strategic plan was very useful to us as well. In addition to that, we had to have our basic handbooks and our basic systems in place, like for example, our student handbook, our catalog, our faculty handbook, our accounting processes. And so it's not just a matter of teaching students, but we have to have the systems available to us and to show them that we are a credible institution that can document and can verify what we're doing here with our students.
Yeah, you see all kinds of things happening here, great things happening each year. It seems to just grow and grow. Something new comes along. There's news headlines about this facility and this institution every single year. So not a doubt in my mind, in 4 years and so on, we're going to keep climbing up with the accreditation.
That's right.
I want to thank you two gentlemen for just giving us this time today, and I want to really congratulate you.
And also I would like to say that we cannot go without acknowledging our ancestors. Our Muscogee ancestors set forth the deep roots for education. And in the Treaty of 1866, one of the things that they did is to set aside the ability of the Muscogee Nation to build educational facilities. So we always use that in identifying what our foundation is for the Mvskoke College.
Just another wonderful day in the history of this place. Thank you guys so much, and congratulations once again. And we want to thank Dr. King and President Bible for visiting with us. And if you enjoyed that, you can go back. It's up on our YouTube channel right now, our online channel, and also MuskogeeMedia.com. Jessica, lots of great things on MuskogeeMedia.com and lots of things for people to be able to keep up with our news right now.
Absolutely. So go check out our website, and then as always, we update social media a lot, even with stuff that isn't quite there as far as the story is concerned, things that are just to keep citizens up to date.
Right. And when can everybody look for their next edition of the Muscogee Nation News?
Well, the December 1st edition is coming out, and then we're currently working on December 15th.
All right, coming up this week. So lots of great things. We're excited to get that out to you folks out there in the racks and let you see this newest edition of our paper. Also, we want to thank everyone for joining us on this holiday weekend. I know a lot of you are probably sitting around with a family. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you and yours from all of us here at Muskogee Media. We want to thank you for being with us this week, and we'll see you next time here on Native News Today. Happy Thanksgiving to all my family, loved ones, friends, associates, co-workers, everyone out there at Big Nation, and all of our citizens, and just everybody in general. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Gobble Till You Wobble Day, everybody.
Happy Pinwall Day. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, Mom. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.